So many things about everything, you know, because, I actually think there is a thing we need to talk exactly myself and everybody that see this video, you know, and I feel like everything we do in life sometimes don't make sense. If we talk about the past, the only thing that people say is the negative things. We talking about the present, they don't really see what we do because we don't let them see what we do. If people see what we do, it's because you're probably famous and they want to know what the fuck you're doing, or they're really obsessed with you, actually so much. So, um, life can be hard and it can be easy to people that have those, abilities, or they have an easy life because their parents have everything, or their parents work hard for everything to give it to them because they at least thought about it. But what about when a kid don't have why they want? Is literally like, do you ask yourself and you just like why their parents didn't thought about it significantly? Like, they did, but they didn't was smart about it. They didn't was smart about how they got what they have. And sometimes you think you're alone, but you're not. You're actually not alone. You have somebody always by your side, or God is with you. Like, I feel like me being alone is the best thing that could happen to me because I could think about so many things, and then when the past pass me, I only think about negative things because that's how we are. We are thinking always about the negative thing, but we're not thinking that about the positive things that we did. Like, I did a lot of positive things, but nobody talk about it. You know why? Because they didn't know my life. They didn't know in that point of my life I was having an issue in me, and they didn't care. They didn't care, or they probably didn't know. They didn't know I had a problem. They didn't know that I needed to stamp myself every time, because nobody was gonna help me. And the people that was helping me always got me, always got me in those circles. Like, I was not gonna do anything because the behavior that I was doing was wrong, was wrong and accepted. It was toxic to myself. You know, now I want to think about it, and I want no talk about what I feel right now. I want to talk about how I'm doing. I want to feel why what I feel right now. But sometimes it's so hard. You know why? Because I got lack of emotions. I don't want to feel it. I have to act like I don't care because I was taught to pretend. Pretend everything. I have this behavior that I need to pretend to make people happy, to make them feel happy, even though I was broken. So now I'm doing it for myself. I'm making me feel happy for things. I am talking to myself. Do you know why? Because I wanna tell myself how much I love myself. Even though people don't know who I am, I actually think if I explain myself why I act like that in the past, they would not care, but they would. A lot of people would understand. But me personally, I will be. I'm happy for the way I act now. I'm more calm, and yeah, sometimes it's hard for me to, you know, understand people. But one side of me do understand. You know why? Because people have their own problems. And I used to try to solve them. I used to try to live and feel their problems. You know why? Because I have a connection. I connect with the people that I actually care. And I used to do that. You know why? Because I'm a good person. Well, to a lot of people, I can be a bad person. You know why? Because they saw a side of me that wasn't me. Because they make me react like that. Sometimes when you do actions and people see it, the person that you doing the thing or the actions, the bad intentions, they're gonna react about it. They're gonna react about it, and they're gonna do something about it to see how you make you feel. Because if you're doing that to that person, because you don't care about that person. If you're doing that, it's because you didn't have the intellectual of mind of thinking why that I'm gonna do that. I used to not think what I was saying. I used to do actions that I needed to not do it. You know? Because I wanted it to give the same energy. Sometimes giving the same energy is a bad thing, you know? You give the same energy, the same actions, because it's gonna burn you inside. It's gonna make you feel like you're dying. Like you will feel like you're not being happier for yourself. Sometimes, yeah, I do have to be selfish Because everybody is selfish to themselves. Everybody gonna choose them. Everybody gonna choose them. And I used to not choose myself. I used to choose the people. I used to choose them. I used to choose what they say. I used to choose if you got a problem, I was there. But guess what? When I do have a problem, nobody's here.
Metaphorically and literally in many people's lives, they're just now going through the patterns of the emotions. They do the same 5 or 6 things with the same 5 or 6 people and wonder why they're not happy.
I don't ask for help.
So pick a new business.
And sometimes it is hard,
Start painting. Start listening to different music.
It is hard because you have that ego inside that you cannot do it. That pride that your family gives you, like you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. But guess what? Sometimes you have to let it go.
Now, how do I change this?
You have to let it go.
Watch this. Create in stillness.
Me living in my present life,
Anchor in motion.
I think a lot about the future. I think a lot. And I pray to God that I know that He got something for me. You know why? Because I had this toxic cycle every time, and every time, and every time, and every time, and every time. And you're gonna tell yourself, why? Why did I go to this toxic cycle? Why did I do this to myself? Why did I let myself to do this if I knew it was gonna happen? Sometimes I do it just because I believe in second chances. If it's a person, but if it's life, that is the same thing that's happening for years and years, I will stop that. You know why? Because why should I do the same thing? Why should I stay in that toxic cycle every time? So I just want to stand up. I just want to stand up for myself and tell myself that I will stop that. And you people, y'all have toxic traits in a toxic cycle. Just stop it. Ask yourself what you're doing wrong. Okay, I'm gonna ask myself what I'm doing wrong in a relationship. What I'm doing wrong. I'm not understanding.
And then once I've got that, I want to start moving. And when I move, I picture, I hear, I feel that
the other person.
And I anchor it and I trigger it. So that when I'm not feeling it, I can then do that cardio and it comes back out.
Sometimes I'm not understanding another person.
I can do that walk and it comes back out.
I lie.
When you work out, you go, my gosh, I'm getting clear on my vision.
I give the same energy.
Because when you begin to move your body in a particular way and it's anchored in there, it brings it back out in reverse. So for me, I use my body as an anchor and a trigger for my dreams. And that way, when I'm not feeling it in my
do the hot and cold,
my emotions, I can use my body to trigger that state,
manipulation,
to trigger that vision for my life, and shift me back into action and increase my vibrational frequency.
In a good way. You know why? If I do the hot and cold manipulation, it's because I feel that if the person is not giving the same energy than first, why should I
So once you're in that zone,
try?
this is what I
Why
want
should I
you
feel
to do. This
confused?
is what's congruent to me. This is what
Why
I
should
want
I
you to do.
feel
You
that
vibrate at a
way?
high frequency, you
Why
draw
should
it
I
into your
feel that
life.
you're
Football, your
not
life.
wanting to talk to
Peyton Manning
me?
was the quarterback.
Why?
You say, Omaha, that was a play, but it was also a trigger. Tom Brady, let's effing go.
I
Right?
ask
Yes, it could be whatever, but it's a trigger
for
word,
reassurance.
a trigger move, the trigger
That's not
state.
wrong. But
And so
I wanted
create
to
these
ask
triggers
for
yourself so that when you're not
reassurance.
feeling it, you can
Because
override your emotions with
everything okay?
physiology.
I want
You
you
can
to say
override
yes.
emotion with physiology. These are some of the things
If you're not okay,
that I
you
believe
tell
can
me,
help you reinvent
because
your life.
we help
This
each
is
other
a never-ending
emotionally.
process.
I'm gonna be
When I was
there
young,
for you,
I
and
got taught
you're gonna be
process
there
called
for me.
CANI.
But I know
CANI.
men have this talks
Constant
like this
and
trait.
never-ending
They don't
improvement.
tell
Constant and never-ending
why
improvement.
they feel,
CANI. Constant and
because they don't want to
never-ending
feel weak. But
Well,
that's
I'm here
not
to tell you that
weakness.
this is a constant and never-ending
I used to
process in your
think
life. And the happiest people
that
that I've met in my
if
life
I cry
are constantly and never
in front of people, if
So although
I
they're fully present, they
tell
are
what I
also
feel,
working hard on their future,
it was weak.
reinventing their future, inventing and changing
It was a
things, co-authoring
person
their life with their God.
that
And I recommend you
don't.
do these things today to reinvent your life.
It wasn't me.
I'm gonna remind you of something.
So
This is
the
just
only
part
thing
of
that
it.
I can do, and I was doing, it
You were
was
born to do something great.
no showing no
Maybe
emotion,
you've heard me say that before.
no
Maybe
showing
you haven't.
nothing.
No one's told you in a while. But I want to.
Cold. I was
You were
cold,
born.
and I'm
You
still
were
doing
made
that.
to do
You know
something
why?
great
Because
with your
it's
life.
me.
And if you're having a hard time picturing
Not
what
giving
this
my
is, what you
energy
wanna
to
do,
people that don't
it
deserve
probably
it.
involves serving other
I don't
people.
give my
It probably
energy to
involves
people that
experiencing
don't
things with other
deserve
people.
me,
You're willing to help those people
who I
in
am.
big ways and small ways. You're most
Because
qualified, myself, the person
my
that you
energy,
need. And there's a lot of
it
people
can
that
be
become the new you
some type
because that's who you used to be.
of
You change. The more you grow,
level
the more you
of
change, the more you
love.
leave previous
I give
versions
so
of
much
yourself.
love. I give so
Helps
much
a bunch of
giving,
people.
caring,
You grow and change. Anyway, I
everything.
hope today helps you. If you want some more help,
That's why I
post a
just
program
like
called the aretesyndicate.com, ARETE syndicate.com,
hide it.
ARETE syndicate.
Just hide it.
Also, have a friend who's got
I
a
hide
program
it
that he runs called Growth Day. My friend
because
Sharp, if you go to growthday.com
it's gonna sound horrible,
you can
but
do
my
some help in there.
past
I have a book
people,
called The Power of One More.
the
It's number
people
one
that I choose to be
best-selling
in my life,
personal development book in the world last year. And you can follow me on social media, Instagram,
didn't
Facebook, TikTok, wherever you want. You can follow me there. All my
appreciate
content is
it.
free, including today's show.
They didn't
All
appreciate
I'd ask
who
is if
was
you
me
enjoyed today,
to them, my
share
real
it
me,
with the people
my
in
real
your
me
life
to
that you
them,
love, that
who I
you value
was,
most, and that you want to see
of
reinvent their
who
lives
I
and become
am.
bigger
Like,
and better versions of themselves.
they didn't
All right,
appreciate
everybody,
that.
God bless you. Max out your life.
This is the Ed Milet Show.
And it made me feel like, why you not caring about a person that did care? Why you not caring about a person to try the best to make you feel good,
This is the Ed Milet
to
Show.
make you feel
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody.
love,
My guest
to
today
make
is
you
somebody
feel
whose work
you were the
I have been a
only
fan of
person.
for years, and I have wanted to meet him. One of the great things about this show is I've met most of the
to
people
make you feel
whose work has made the biggest impact
like a
on
good
my life.
friend,
I got to tell you, this man's at the top of my list.
and you let it
His
go,
work hits you right between
you
the
leave.
eyes, and I would categorize it as
and you
brilliant.
like
I just think the way he phrases
tell
things
yourself,
and comes right
like,
at
well,
you with truth is very unique.
they really
And
happening
he's also been on the list of most requested guests for
when
quite
they
a while.
leave
The book
they
that first
leave you
impacted me was Unf Yourself,
with
I'll
the
give you the clean version.
destroyment
And the
and
book that he has out right now
ruins.
is Grow Up, Becoming the Parent Your Kids Deserve.
They
And as
let
I read
you,
this book, it wasn't
they
just
leave
really
you
about being a parent, it was
with
actually
their
really about being a
ruins
human being,
because
which
they're
makes
gonna
you a
choose
better parent.
themselves every
So that
time.
if you're not a parent and you're listening to this, trust
They're
me,
gonna
every
choose
minute of this will apply to you. And if you are a parent, there'll just be an
whatever
added bonus because
they
this man's
can
work will
to
impact how you
get
raise your
better
children. Gary
financially
John Bishop, welcome to the show, brother.
because money
Thank
talk.
you, brother. It's good to have you too. So I want to get to the.
Money
I
talk.
read your stuff. and
Money
I'm
do
like, I'm gonna read that again.
actions.
Crap, it's like it hits you, right?
Money can do
And I wanna
actions. Money
start
can do
out kind of
everything,
because this leads to
babies.
the parenting thing.
Yeah.
Even though I think the vast majority of it applies
It's
to
the
being
truth.
human and not just
Money
being
can
a
do
parent, being a
everything.
functional
even though you
person.
don't believe
You
it.
said you live your
We
adult life
live
either as a
in our
reflection of your
life
childhood
in a
or
world
in reaction to it.
the
I
money
just think that's
talk,
really a great place to start.
money
What do you mean when
everything.
you say that? I know what it means for
And
me. But
when
are we
money
all sort of
everything,
acting out of some place from our childhood every single day, even to this day?
people
Yeah, I
literally
mean, if you were to look in any area
stab
of your
you
life
in the
that
back,
doesn't work,
betray you.
there is some echo from your
Even though
childhood
you help
playing out
them,
there.
they
And it's not always
betray
obvious,
you
because
10
your
times better.
childhood isn't
And
necessarily
10,
what you remember.
10
It's
times
more what you forget.
worse.
And
Like
so
they
you're
gonna
shaped
make you
by
feel
it
like
in
shit.
ways
Like they're
that
gonna make
are
you feel like,
constantly
whoa,
into it, become
so I
really
helped
just
somebody,
pregnant, and I think that's,
they didn't give a fuck
the
about
fascinating
me.
part of it, at least for me.
I
How did
love
that play out for
somebody.
you? I mean, I know
They
you
didn't
talked
give
about
a
the
fuck
situation
about
in the book.
me.
It struck me. I think you were 4 years old.
You,
And the fact that you remember this is
yeah.
compelling to me. But I think your parents were fighting,
You
trying to get them to stop. And once you take it from there,
your
I think
parents
this is a good
too.
example of that.
Your parents
Well,
are a mechanism that they want the good for you, they want the better for you,
every moment
of
your
course.
life, they can't tell you. They'll
But
tell
they
you
can
some
ruin
interesting facts.
good
But
things.
for years and
They
years,
can ruin
I used to kind of grind away.
a
and be like,
person.
why do people remember that part and not
They can
all
ruin
those other parts? And
you
it wasn't until I started to get more
by
different
not
moments
giving you the chance
that
to
I
love
started to
somebody
feel
you
like
love,
little
right?
milestones or incidents. And
Yeah.
and so that incident as a 4-year-old
Like,
was fascinating to me.
no
Like, I
joke.
remember the feeling. I
They
remember that
manipulate you
experience in the
from
book. I
some
described it.
ways
And
that
the feeling
you're
for
gonna
me in
think
that
like,
moment
whoa,
was I had no power. I had no.
really?
I couldn't change it.
I was
So
manipulated
overcome with
the
this.
whole
And
time.
you gotta get for a little 4-year-old.
Well,
this is like wild,
yeah.
right? But my experience in that moment.
No
was
lie.
like, I'm weak. I can't.
Literally
can't
lying
do
to
it.
my
I couldn't
face.
stop them from arguing and fighting. And that moment. isn't
Lying
just
to
a
my
moment
face.
for a
So
child.
she
It's
can
like
be
a-
financially
it's like a sea
fine.
change in their
Because
experience of themselves. I've never experienced
narcissistic
myself that way before. It was
people
new.
are like that.
And
You know?
then so those little things just sink into the background, and they become what you call.
Sometimes I ask
ontological
myself,
decisions. They become
if it was
decisions
me,
that you've made now that you're going to have
God
to
send me
handle
people.
because they sink into the background and basically become.
It was me
your truth.
that
If you
let
like.
them
And
leave
that was
me,
certainly one of
or
mine.
it was them that
That
choose to
notion
leave
of your
me.
truth. That's why, by the way, I always said, whether you have children or not,
I
it's
know.
about being a functioning human to me.
The people I
I've
attract
never read someone's work, I don't
be
think,
toxic.
Gary, where the way you said it, I want to
because
write down.
I
and
can be
remember. Like,
toxic.
I find myself wanting to
I'm
quote you
healing.
more than most people. And here's
Still
something you
healing.
said about that very
You
thing
know?
in the past.
I go
This
back,
will rock a lot of
and
you.
then-
And by the way, I agree with you after I read the book.
I come
You
back
said,
and leave the
the past
person,
wins one
and
way or
then
the
I
other.
feel like
And then you went on to say at another
I'm
point,
sad
you say, you are not
for
shaped by the
nothing.
past
It's because,
itself.
yeah, I'm bipolar.
You're shaped by what you said about it.
I'm
Meaning, to some
sad,
extent,
you
this
know,
past thing is a little bit of an illusion
why?
to some extent. Am I right about that?
because my mother
totally,
lied to me in my
completely,
face.
in my 50s now, realized
You know
the
why?
profound truth in that.
Because the truth is,
Right. So
everything does matter for her.
like this is why this
It's
book
her
had to
life.
be written. Like, I
And it's
couldn't
sad,
put
you
my head
know.
on the pillow for another night.
And I
without
cry
getting the book out of there.
about
Because I keep hearing all this stuff. the
what I would
generational
do if I
change and,
lost her.
You know, parents are,
You
I'm
know.
gonna break a generational chain, and I'm like, you are the generational chain.
But
Everything that falls out of your mouth, you are the generational chain.
the only thing that she
And
been
you want to
doing
break
is
anything that
lie.
starts with you. And so I want people to see
And
what we're
lie,
trying to break
and lie.
with
just to
generational
get what
change,
she
if you like,
wants.
is circumstances. We're looking back at old circumstances.
Yeah,
Those
just to get what she
circumstances are not
wants.
going to happen again. What we fail to see is the
Imagine,
mechanism that runs underneath those circumstances.
imagine
from
she
that
destroy.
generation to this generation to the next generation. So you don't.
I would
You're
not think
working on the
negative
change, you're
about
working
my
on your
mother,
oil.
you know,
you're
because that's
you're
what the
making
devil
no effort
wants.
to change. The chain itself
She
continues
is my
because.
mother, and she
Like,
always
if
gonna
you
be
go
my
back to that
mother,
example
you
I
know.
used in the book when I was 4 years old.
But
My parents had no sense
I'm in the same
that that's what was
cycle
going on in my
just
life.
because
And I had no sense
She
at 4
wanted
years
it.
old that I was making a
She wanted me
life-changing
to.
decision
She
because
wanted to drag
you don't-
me
you don't
with
go up
her
to ourselves at
to
4 that way. We're
suffer
playing with toys and
like
having a
her.
good time, and
She
I'm,
wanted me
you
to
know, doing all the
suffer
things
like
that a
her.
4-year-old would do.
Because
But in that moment,
only
that
thing
experience, boom, it hit me like a wall.
she wants
And
is
so,
her own
as
life.
parents, this is what I want people to get from this book. Like you said, whether you're a
Literally.
parent or not, you have to know,
You know,
that there's
it's hard to
you had
accept that
experiences in your childhood that
because
you attach
when you
to
love
various
your mom,
incidents, and you live like it's about the incident.
that shit
and it's
hurts,
not. It's about
you
the
know.
experience that came out of it.
And
It's
now
the
that I'm
ontologic
18,
decisions, whatever you decide,
what she take
whatever
out
you
of her
changed
mouth
in that moment,
is
that compounded and lives on with you as an adult. So you know, I've got an eye on all the
You're gonna move.
things that I wanted people to start to
But
see. Like, you have to look
the
at
reality
your life,
is
your childhood, your parents' life, their
that
childhood,
she
and if you
is
have children, maybe you'll get a
gonna
little
move.
insight onto what's actually
She
going
is
on with
the
them,
one that's gonna
no matter
be.
how hard you think you might be trying to guide them
I
another
don't know.
way.
I told you, everybody.
She don't know
His
that I'm the
work
one that
gets
saved her
you.
a
By the
job.
way, the way he writes too, he doesn't
Because
let you
I
escape
still
you.
care, you know.
Every time you try to escape you, this guy's pulling you back.
But the
to you.
reality
And I
is
love that. It's like there's just no
she wanna
BS to
choose
it. So I'm
herself.
gonna stay right on this incident. This incident when he was born,
toxicity,
this
everything.
absolute truth that you're talking about. I always say
And
it's not the
I'm-
events of our life that define us. It's the meaning we attach
It's
to the
everything
event.
her.
And one of the
It's
difficult
because
things
she
when we're a
want
child is
to
we
be
don't
everything
have the
her.
emotional makeup or experiences to attach.
Everything
We're
her.
not really choosing our meaning when
She
we're
wanna
capable.
destroy
We're choosing the meaning when we're incapable.
Things.
And so, do you then recommend
everything.
somebody question their past? I know that you do, but I'm going to let you answer it.
She
Do
want
they
me
question the
to
past and then
suffer
are you
like
having to
her.
evaluate
She
an incident
suffer.
and then try to attach a new meaning to it so that they
But
behave
no.
differently in the current moment because they attach a
You know
different
why?
meaning to an event?
Well,
Because
what
I
I'd
will
like people to
not
see
be the
is that
same.
your
I will be
mechanism
stronger enough
of adding to a
to
situation
take the suffer
exists to this
and
day.
make it stronger and
What's a
make
mechanism
it
mean to you? What do you mean
as
by
a
mechanism?
wonderful
So it's
thing.
like your automatic wiring,
Got it.
your default
You know,
is Heidegger, the German
I will
philosopher,
make
called it
myself
your default ways of being.
Okay.
The ways that you are by default.
so
And when
much
people don't wake up in the morning and
amazing.
decide to be themselves. They wake up and that
I will
self
feel
is
amazing
there.
because I
Right?
won't
And
upset
And it's a
things.
set
you
self.
know?
It's not a malleable
And I
self.
have to understand
It's like this-
myself
this
first
me
so I
that
can
I
understand
am.
somebody else, you
Now,
know?
now, if you
I have
hang out with
to
little ones long enough, especially
think
like
about
I
what
did,
I'm doing
2,
wrong.
3, 4, there's no real self there.
And I
It's just
know
like this big
the
expression.
thing that I
Like,
gotta
there's
do
no-
is
there's no set way.
when
But
I
anybody who's a
get
parent will tell you
stronger and
they literally
financially
watch their children
good,
become set.
I am
Right? Until they watch somebody.
going
Age 7, age
to
12,
be
age 14.
by myself.
And then suddenly they're just like that way.
And I
they're
want
always
them
that
away
way.
from me.
They're always, and they're always that
Even
way as
if
a
it hurt,
compensation
You know
to
why?
whatever they felt
Because
they had to overcome.
I don't want toxic
That's
people
why
in my
it's so
life.
fascinating, by the way, because,
I don't want people
you know,
that's
like,
being
people can
toxic
get
to
really,
themselves.
really
I
cool
don't want
times
people
with
that being
childhood
toxic to
and
themselves.
come
You
out
know
with a
why?
whole different
Because
thing than somebody who went through a
they
very
will give it
similar
to me.
experience. Come out with a whole different thing. Why?
They will,
Because they don't come
they
out of the experience.
would give me that
What they
energy
come out with is whatever they told
and that
themselves about it.
negativity.
So, and it becomes so
that's
tightly
why I'm alone.
intertwined
You know
that
why?
whatever I told myself about it,
I feel
the
like I
incident,
can
there's
understand
no
myself
distinction
better. You
between
know?
those two for me as a human being. They're the same
And every
thing,
time
right?
that I
So,
accept
again,
something,
for instance, in that moment, I'm 4 years old, I'm watching my
it's
parents
difficult to
arguing, it's
understand.
about me. I'm not observing that like this is about them.
It's always
I'm
difficult.
observing that like this is about me. Like I came to some
If I
self-determination in that moment. What I want
go
people to
back,
understand is if they look back in their own childhood,
I would
what do you think
not.
those were just random moments
do
and nothing
these
came out of it?
things.
No, you're the living embodiment of what you decided in those moments. And by the way, when you make that kind of decision, that's why we
this
so clear.
because
That as your life is
I
about
trust my
reliving
mother.
and reactivating the same emotions
trust
come
her.
up and get applied to situations. Is that
they
like to
trust
say,
her,
people live
but
their
she's
lives
bringing me
and little
down
vignettes
with
of
her.
fighting the same battle
She's bringing
over
me
and over
back
and over
down with
again?
her, and I didn't
Hey guys,
want
listen,
to
we talk
accept
on this
it.
show a lot about the benefits
And I
of
didn't
fasting.
want
It's
to.
become very, very popular. And guess what? Now there's something called Prolon.
But now,
Prolon is a revolutionary plant-based
I have to
nutrition
get up.
program that helps nourish the body by
I
making
have
cells
to
believe
make
they're
myself
fasting.
stronger.
Prolon is not a diet, it's science. And
I'm
all this
strong
starts
as
with
fuck,
Prolon's
but
5-day
yeah.
program. Snacks, soups, and beverages, all designed to keep your body in a fasting state. It's unlike anything you've ever experienced
And I
before.
told
Right
myself,
now, Prolon is offering the Ed Milet Show listeners 10% off their
you know,
5-day
I
nutrition
told my
program.
mother
Go to
before I
prolonlife.com/Milet.
left,
That's PROLON
she said something
life.com/Milet for this special
so
offer.
horrible
That's
to me.
prolonlife.com/Milet. These statements and products
To
have
make
not
me
been
feel
evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These
like
products are
shit.
not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or
Yeah.
condition. This episode is sponsored by Zippix Nicotine Toothpicks.
To make me
Zippix
feel
brings you a totally satisfying,
like
convenient, and great way to help you curb your nicotine cravings. I had a few friends of mine I've been playing golf with. They get these
is
toothpicks.
my
I'm like, what are you guys doing?
family
They're like,
side,
"Zippix." I'm like, what is
my
that?
dad family side
Before I dug into it, I'm
fault
like, wow, this is a really interesting product.
that
Here's
something
what it does.
happened.
Zippix toothpicks give you an easier and better and more
But in
discreet way
reality,
to help you get your fix. They're also one of the most effective nicotine
it was
products
her
on the market.
fault.
Zippix also offers caffeine and B12.
She don't want to
infused
accept
toothpicks
it.
if you're not a nicotine user or if you're trying to get away from your nicotine habit. Ditch the cigarettes, ditch the vape, and get some nicotine infused toothpicks.
That's why
ZippixToothpicks.com today. Get 10% off your first order by using the code
they are
MYLET,
broken.
MYLETT, at your checkout. Your lungs will be glad you did it. Must be 21 or older. Warning, this product contains nicotine, an addictive chemical. Zip more,
It's
smoke
the
less with Zippix nicotine toothpicks.
Gary, you're on to such
I
profound
am
work here
not
as a friend, as a
broken
brother.
anymore.
I want to encourage you to continue to dig deeper into this.
It
and develop- I'm
hurts.
serious. I've done some work in this myself.
And
I
I
started to write about it.
haven't talked
And
to
you're-
nobody about
This
it.
is new and this is profound.
Just my
And
friend.
we'll talk about those 3 stages in a second. But it's why, by
And
the
it
way,
pissed me
a
off
child
because
can have
they
the
want
same
me to
exact 2
remember
parents.
that.
One child takes different meanings from the
You
situations
know
they were
why?
raised in, and they have 2 totally
Because
different
they want me to
lives.
suffer
I'm
like
raised by
that.
an alcoholic father, and
They want me
in
to
the sense that all 4
suffer.
of us turned out pretty darn okay.
Mate,
But usually,
want me
you'll
to
see one of
suffer.
the children goes on to be a high performer, and the other one ends up
They
being an
want me to
alcoholic themselves.
suffer.
Same exact environment, same
it
situation.
made me feel
Different meanings were attached. And then
like
that notion that you just said, brother, about that you're fighting the same battle over and
And-
over again with different circumstances, but the same battle. Listen to what he says in the book. I tell you guys, I don't ever quote books in interviews, Gary. I don't do this. I want you to hear what he
that's
says here.
why
Every day of your life, I wrote this down for me,
They
bro,
wanna
not for the interview. This is stuff for me.
keep the
but I'm gonna
same
have it in the interview.
cycle
Every day of your life, you find evidence for and then confirm
to
in
make
your
me
crevices
feel
of your mind,
like
quote,
this.
you. You talk
Because
like
they
you,
want me to
walk
feel
like
what
you,
they
think
feel.
like you, and react like you. Every single day, you are justifying you. And one of the main ways you do
Want me to
is by
feel
reaching back into
like
your
they
memories
felt.
to satiate that beast.
I know.
Therefore, the past
I
isn't just
won't.
the past.
I
As
won't
evidence for you
suffer
being the character that you've become to this day. The past wins one way or the other.
because I'm happy
Brother,
by
are you
myself.
serious? That is so good. I just want you to elaborate on that
I'm
a little bit.
happy
Well,
being by
Mark, you know,
myself.
look, when I say people are being self-indulgent,
Even though I'm
it's
crying, it's
something
because,
narcissistic, which is another
you know,
thing that I just can't stand. But anyway,
When you see
but
the
it sounds like
reality,
it's just, you know, like self-indulgent. What I
when
mean
you
is
see it,
we indulge self.
it is
And
hard.
we get up every day and we respond to what
But
it wants.
We
Right?
only
So
see the
respond
negative
to its
things,
upsets, and we
but
respond
never the
to its
positive.
desires, and we
Because the
respond
devil
to
wants
its
that.
quote unquote needs. So it's
And
like, I really
in the
invite
name of
people to
God
get, like,
and
who
Jesus,
you are is more like
I
a
forgive
venue for
them.
something to show up. And what
For the
shows up
butter on
every
my
day are
heart.
the same noises. And you just
I
go along
forgive
with
them,
it. You
God.
fail to see that you're the venue
I
in
do
which
forgive
all of this
them.
is happening. And with
I
a
will
little bit
descend
of like a shift, like just
to
a little
you.
shift in the way you think.
Because
And
I
you can
will
get
give
a little bit more
my
observant of
heart
that
to you,
self,
God.
actually see what it wants to do and understand
Now
it in
wait.
those terms. And I look at it more like
You give
like
me
it's just
what
something I gotta
I
be
deserve.
responsible for rather than something I'm
Because
fighting
I
against.
know
Like either it's gonna talk or I'm gonna
what I
talk.
deserve.
And you know, I've heard all the shit that
Love,
it wants to say, you know. Bored by
peace,
it now, you know.
Stay on that. Man,
happiness,
bro, I gotta tell you, it's one of these conversations I don't remember a long time.
and
I often say, and if you don't mean
what
it
is
this way,
mine.
correct me and say it your way. I often say just the
Even though,
awareness of the pattern of me being
if I can
me.
tell you,
It loses a lot of its power over me
happiness
when I'm just in
for me
awareness. Oh, I'm doing that thing
is
again. I'm doing
this.
me again. I'm doing that thing I do.
This
And
is
what
my
you said is
happiness.
then that former you, the way you
Explaining
just said that,
myself,
is not the voice that I
what
can
I
now
feel,
choose the new voice. Is that what you mean by
what
just stepping back and getting above
I
yourself a little bit and
supposed
going,
to
oh, I'm doing that thing
think
I do
about
again. I'm
this,
being me again. That awareness allows you to then make a
you know,
conscious choice as to how to behave or change rather than to keep responding unconsciously.
and
Right.
even though
as an aside,
people think this life is insane, you know,
phenomenon. Like as you're going through a day,
you will have
you
a
get
lot of
aware of one
traumas, you
default
know,
response and shift in that moment.
and I
really
do
don't
have
look
some
at that. I
traumas,
believe this. I
but
really want people to get this. In that moment,
they've been
that shift that you make, you have literally changed
so
the trajectory of your
calm.
life in a moment.
They've been, they
Because your
haven't
life would have
been
kept going along that path,
getting
and
more
you just were
calm
like, nope,
and
we're not
calm.
doing that, right?
And
So
And those
imagine being someone who
traumas have
manages
been peaceful
to
for
catch
me, you
yourself a
know,
handful of times a day,
because
just catching yourself about to go in a direction that you know you typically do.
I know
And you're like, you know what? Not today. I'm not doing it.
that I
When
deserve
I wrote my first book,
so much better,
that was a
and
9-month, 10-month
God will
process
give
of
me
catching
what
myself
I
30 times
deserve.
a day because
God will
the
give
self
me
that I am had no interest in writing that book and had zero interest in you
what
reading
I
it
deserve.
because, you know,
And
I'd be open to scrutiny and judgment and
These
ridicule,
times
la 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 la.
of
So the kind of self that I had become
pain,
was going to make that a long
destruction,
process that eventually I would give up on and just say
I
it's
will
not worthwhile.
I will
And I would tell myself some
will
nonsense
have
like,
them with
I'm going
patience.
in
I
a
will wait
direction, I see
this with
something else I think
patience,
would be more
love,
powerful than writing a book. And all I did in that process was just
action,
catch.
talk to myself,
Not today, I'm gonna
and
write.
feel
Not today, I'm gonna write. And
what I
and
needed to
I wouldn't
feel
call it necessarily a struggle,
before.
but it was definitely like it was the first
I
time
needed to
feel
feel
like I really
like
exercised
now.
that muscle
Need to feel it
and
now,
producing something that went
so I
beyond
can
bywiring.
understand so many
I relate
things, you
very
know,
deeply to that. Very deeply. It's just the last 4 or 5 years for
in my
me.
life and why I
Yeah, I've
act
done
like
that.
this.
One more thing on the past I want to cover, just because I want you to elaborate on it, because this stuff, you know, to be honest with you, today, guys,
No.
you're listening to a conversation between he
I
and I
used to
that I wanted to have.
not like nobody touched
And
me,
you said you are not a direct product of your past. And while it's true, you were born,
and
thrown into an already existing
passing the
conversation
time,
of family and values
I-
and morality and so on. You are, in fact, a predictable, repetitive, emotional expression
wake
of what
up
you have come to
myself.
believe is
you know.
true about all of that past. And no, what you have come to
I
believe
wake
about
up
it,
myself
this is not the same as actually what
because
happened.
I was
So you have are you saying you have
in
a
the time
flawed
of
recollection of the
descending.
past? Because why is it, this matters as
was
a
in the
parent
time
because
of
you're
descending,
imprinting on your
but in the
children all the
time
time. It
of
matters as a human being to then understand that imprinting
understanding,
that you are now reflexively,
and now
unconsciously
I
living through now.
understand myself better.
You have a
I
terrible
understand
recollection
why
like terrible.
everything's
And I
happening.
know a lot of people are like, oh no,
You know.
I can still remember the smell. Look,
Because my
here's
mother
what
wanted
I'm
to wreck
trying tell you.
me still.
Every time you recollect a memory,
But
you don't
now
recollect
I
the memory.
live the truth.
You recollect the last memory you had of that
I
memory.
live the truth.
And that's how your brain works.
If
so
I
now
live the
if you're
truth,
somewhere in your 30s, 40s, 50s,
much
60s,
better.
70s,
You know,
if you recollect a memory,
It's much
right
better
now,
to
you're
live the
recollecting
truth.
a memory of a memory of a memory
Because
of a memory of a memory of a memory of a
you're gonna
memory
feel
of a
so
memory of a
calm.
memory all the way
you're gonna
back.
feel
So
much
all the times that you recollected that memory, how many tens
peace.
of thousands or
Like,
hundreds of
oh
thousands
my
of times
God.
down the line you are.
You don't
That's
understand
far
how
you are
many
away
peace
from
I
that.
have
And
right
again,
now.
if you use that example, when I was a 4-year-old,
Like,
the memory isn't so much about the parents. The memory is more like
I don't
For me in that
blame
moment was
my mother
family,
for
but just as
everything I've
easily,
done.
by the way, in that moment, a child
Because
may have said, my
some things
mother's
my
weak,
fault
or my
and some
father's
things
weak,
are hers, you
and
know.
set themselves on that
Because some
pathway.
things I
Therefore, through the
do,
rest of that childhood,
the
it's
action,
about gathering evidence.
and I knew
Well, see,
it was
there he or
wrong.
she goes again. There they are again. There they are again. There they are
But
again.
I
That's why-
decide to
that's why
straight
when
up do
people,
it
You know, like you just gave an example earlier of a family of maybe 3 or 4,
because I didn't
all
have
have
respect
different
for
experience.
myself,
and you shared with your father,
Didn't have
your
my
alcoholic father,
self-worth.
and you know, I'm one of those. I don't
Didn't know
call
my
an alcoholic
self-worth.
anybody.
I didn't
call
know
him, somebody
nothing.
who drank to the degree that he couldn't manage his
You know,
life anymore. That's it, simple.
Right now, I'm more
Alcoholic, a whole word that I don't like
self-awareness about things,
But when I look at that
and
childhood, you could get a child from that childhood and say, my father was selfish and I
know
hated it.
that
You
I
don't
did
know a child
wrong
would come out of that family
some
saying, I love my
things
dad.
in my life,
Okay. So
but
which
that
one's
doesn't
the truth?
mean
Well, for the individual, they're both the
I'm
truth,
the worst person
but they're not
in
the
this
truth.
world.
That's right.
You know why?
He did what he did,
Because
and that's it.
people have
That's
done
right.
worse
What's
than me,
added to
and they
all of
still
that is
love
what people
them.
have to live with.
Yep, guys, this is how
But I'm
you
still
change your life.
here
Is these realizations. You're a accumulation
But
of
they
patterns,
don't deserve
of
my love,
behaviors
you
and
know,
thoughts.
because my love were poor.
And in order to change your
were
life,
pure.
it requires an
My
evaluation
love
of
were
those things.
pure
And the way that this is
sincere
worded to me is the
and
most
honest.
profound. I have to tell you that
And then
For
I
me,
understood
blame has been a
that
major destroyer of my own life. And you write pretty hardcore about blame in the book. So once you have
I
these
wanted
memories,
to
by the way, as
change.
a parent, this stuff matters.
and then
This thing you just said about repeating the memories, one thing I just want to say, that can happen at any age.
don't
I've had
give
friends
my
of mine that
energy
have gotten
to
a divorce.
everybody
We've all
anymore.
seen this before. You knew them when they were married. You knew them when they got divorced.
Because
And one of them has a repetitive version of their memory of a memory of a memory of a memory of a memory. And you see them
but
10
don't
years later.
know me.
And the other one has, then you have them get together and they go, I didn't do that. I didn't say that. I didn't mean that. And they both,
But
in
yeah,
their own world, are
that's how
right.
it is.
Except both of them are actually wrong.
People would
To
think
your
that
point
they
is there
know
was just a
you.
behavior that took place. So let's talk about
They
blame.
get an idea,
Whoa boy, here we go.
but never
You say blame
have
creates a sort of
the
safety.
time
Blame is a catalyst for keeping you tied to
to
what has been.
understand,
To blame is to perpetuate
to
the past,
love,
to keep it going. And you're an effing
to be
blame
able
machine.
to love
Ouch.
you,
So what do we do about that?
to be
And why
able
does it
to
matter?
understand things.
You know, I can
Don't be
hung up
stubborn.
with that whole notion of
No.
blame for a number of years. Like, it's a word that by
They
the
never
way,
have the
as
time
a
to do that
culture now,
because they
it's-
don't
it's a
care.
firestorm within.
They
when it
really
comes
don't
to
care.
blame, right? So, I
And
know people
that's
have
why
ideas about, why
You always
society has
need
the
to
way it
choose
is.
yourself.
In my view, right, again,
And
just some random Scottish
get
guy,
better
but
yourself.
in my view, the propensity for blame is
If you need help,
wildly out of control.
to ask for help.
Wildly out of control. And we've fed that.
If they
beast,
don't
by
give
the
you the
way.
help,
We're feeding it and eating from
go
a
find
certain
it
trough.
in another way.
And so you
Go find it.
cannot
Do what you can do,
experience true freedom from the past.
but always
And
do
keep
it
the blame.
in the right
Can't.
way.
Now again, I
The
know
right
people
way
say, well, I don't
will
know,
always
true, I'm free of that
be the
incident,
best thing.
and I'll say,
Ever.
that's funny, why are you bringing that up?
Yeah.
And they're bringing it
It is
up
what it
because
is.
they have to continue